We have a mission!
What's good, boys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Admiral Midnight, and for today I'm done posting cringy win screenshots on Discord, so I thought I'm gonna just record a video on a whim. I'll be real with you, so lately I've not been posting too many deck guide videos. It's simply because I'm hesitant when it comes to playing the game, let alone recording videos. I'm simply missing the enthusiasm because this expansion has been a mess. Titans are terrible for the game, and I physically cringe every time I face one, or even in Lucius. But I know that I can't let you boys hang. I know that you're thirsty for some decks, and today we're going to play something which is actually effective against the Nemesis, or what is the plural of Nemesis? Nemesis? Whatever. It's good against Lucius and Titans, more or less. Yeah, to some extent, because those are, yeah, as mentioned, busted. But it can compete with them, and it's fun. And that's obviously the most important thing of this game. We're gonna play some Mission Branthan. I'll be real, the mission is probably my favorite part of what was added in this expansion. It is fun, it is good, and it is kind of a win condition without being completely busted. So we have to start with more troops than our opponent 3 times. That's no problem for Orphans. They have a lot of stealth, and Branthan can also buff off our board, which makes them stick more likely. And the reward is also what I really like about this. It's good, but it's not completely busted. It's not an auto-win button like the old Raven Guard mission or something. You simply get infinite value. And that's pretty cool. It's very thematic because the Orphans of War are basically a mishmash of all the Shattered Legions. And here you actually get access to the other legions as well. And yeah, we also steal other stuff with the Marauders or whatever. So pretty cool, it's fun. It has a bit of randomness attached, but nonetheless, I really like this one. And yeah, let's jump right into the deck. So, our Warlord is Ulrach Branthan. He has a special card, Dreadnought Tournament, so we're gonna start with only one card and end the mission. The Dreadnought Tournament and whatever we top deck there. But nonetheless, it kind of works because we have a good curve here, so yeah, whatever. Dreadnought Tournament, yeah, I wouldn't focus on that too much. Let's check it out. On paper, it's obviously pretty strong. He gains 1 attack and a pretty sick ability. But yeah, trust me, you won't see it that often. Most of the time, if your opponent is at least somewhat competent, he will burst through your survivor and kill you on the spot. Like, there's almost always no reason to pop your survivor and then let you play the Dreadnought Tournament, but nonetheless, somewhat of a cool card and makes him even more tanky than he already is with his ability. So yeah, pretty cool Warlord. And his ability obviously helps us with the mission by making our troops more sticky, as I mentioned already. The first card is obviously the mission. As I mentioned, somewhat of a win condition here. You just play it turn 1 alongside with Branthan's ability, fits very well. And from there on, you just play proactively or reactively. Ideally, you kind of do both. So, for example, Veteran Crane is the best example. You get something on the board while deleting something from your opponent. And that's the whole playstyle. This is basically a control mid-range deck. The next card is the Best of Melgator. Good for tempo swings, and tempo is somewhat important in this deck. And if we don't have anything to bounce from our opponent, we have a lot of good rallies here in this deck, which we can benefit on, so you can bounce your own stuff. It can be something like Legionary Shoulder. So you smash Shoulder into something, you pop it Survivor, then you bounce it with Melgator, then shoot something again, it gets Survivor again. Or of course, again, Veteran Crane, really good. Black Shield Outriders, so you can play another Black Shield Outriders and spawn another Black Shield Outriders, so 3 for 2, basically. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, you got the idea, so Melgator has a multi-purpose here. This is where I like to play him. Then Ashen Claw, 1 copy. This is simply pretty good. Deals the damage and cycle. Gets back into the deck, so only 1 copy. Sufficient in my opinion. Really good removal. Not much else to say here. Legionary Shoulder, the good version of the last section. A lot of legions actually have these kind of cards, like 2 energy to 2 deal 1 damage and then do something if target dies. And this is probably the best one simply because he mitigates his own weakness, being 2 health by gaining Survivor 2. Works really well with Crahane. If you send in something, you do 2 damage with Crahane and then another 2 damage with Shoulder and he gets Survivor. So 4 damage combo here, for example. Really like this guy. Lord Malkiel. Turn 1 play, yeah, basically better than just playing the mission and using his ability. He accelerates our curve, we can buff him up. I really like him here. Horus Heresy. He's just an annoyance, very sticky for a 2 energy troop. And I'll be real, the Rentless ability isn't that important, but sometimes it can change the way you trade or whatever. So I really like this guy simply because he's so annoying to deal with early game. Then Nitro Threat, this is for some sustain. I'm on the verge of scrapping him simply because he's super slow, but he synergizes so well with Ulrach Branthan, and I kind of wanted some heals in this deck because, yeah, all this aggro bullshit is still a thing, and he actually helps. He's also in stealth, so he helps triggering the mission because he's very unlikely to be removed, and yeah, Branthan can buff him. then he can heal him. So basically he will take no damage while healing you, and that's the synergy here. So not a pick, but not a necessity in my opinion. Then Informant Network, not much to say here. This is simply our anti-stealth deck of choice here, and also the only AoE around this deck, so I decided for the Informant Network. Next up, Jubek Starside. As mentioned, we're starting with only one card in hand, and then we top deck. And Jubek is here to kind of mitigate that. He replaces himself when we play him, and of course, Branthan can buff him up, so he will be a little bit harder to remove, for example, if you're up against, let's say, Abaddon or Center, which will never happen right now, but just theory crafting, so to say. You buff him up, he gets to 4 health, and these guys can't seem to kill him with his abilities, so another weakness mitigated from Jubek Starside, and if he keeps generating cards, it's just good for you, because you keep filling your hand, and filling your hand is what we do with this deck, with the mission, with the Marauders, and all that, so well, I like him here. Veteran Marauder, one of the new additions, pretty good for a common, 3 4/3, good stat line, and with Stealth. Stealth is the most important part here. Branthan can buff him up, and these guys can simply sit in stealth and wait to proc the mission, or simply to have a really good trade, so they will always trade upwards. They'll obviously be pretty bad if you're playing against Kruger, these instantly die, but I didn't see this guy for a while, so really like these guys. Brandon F. I think it's a staple legendary for Orphans of War, and I must explain you for NG44 with stealth. He replaces himself and has a decent ability which he can constantly use out of stealth, so I don't know why not to include this guy. Your roster cast, and this is a little bit like Jubek Starside. Branthan can buff her up a little bit, and she can disrupt enemy decks nicely. If you can also hide her behind a couple of front lines from Antioch, for example, or even the alternative spots, it's even better. Play her with caution though, because for 4 energy she's obviously understated. But if you play her at the correct time and can protect her, she can disrupt your opponent completely. That Covenant, yes, I've been talking about these guys so much. Like, a lot of legions, like for example the Ultramarines, have like bootleg versions of these guys. And I simply love them. 4 energy, 5/3, 5 damage for 4, fair. It's a troop, so it can't ignore precognition, but they have unstoppable as well, so they ignore frontline. Excellent. I also see no reason not to include 2, not to mention that Branthan once again can mitigate their low health by buffing them up for at least 1 health. Veteran Kahane, this is the next card. I think this is also a staple for the Orphans of War. Really great value, and the cool thing about him is that he can sentence permanently, so you can use this on Titan weapons. It's non-Warlord enemy, not troops, and the sentence is permanent. You can use it on a claw from a Titan and it will constantly get 1 more extra damage when it attacks into something. Really nice. So you can use this as instant removal, or you can use this to set up the removal next turn if it's something bigger. And we have a lot of damage pings, so excellent card. Again, no reason not to include 2. Black Shield Outriders, another new card from the new expansion. Initially I wasn't too stoked about these guys, simply because, yeah, I don't know. When they spawn on the right side if you play them on the right, or on the left side if you play them on the left. So it would be really cool if they would spawn on both sides of Branthan, so he can buff both. That's why I initially didn't include them, because I didn't like that. It's like an OCD more or less. But they're decent. 5 energy and 4/6 of stats with flank, basically. So it's pickable to AoE, but again, Branthan can buff them, and we have the synergy with Ambassador Magator. You can even run stuff like this Apothecary Norn or anything to bounce them back to hand, but it's not that much worth it. Just a very good addition here. Very nice troops, some additional removal. I really like it. And then Edict of Censure. I like to play this card when I have a deck which has almost no tactics, like here. We have 5 tactics, 1 being the mission, and the other 3 being removal or tech tools, and the 5th one being Edict of Censure itself. This is kind of like a cheat card. It isn't always useful, but when it is really useful, let's say it as it is. You can, like, if you're up against another mission deck and your opponent didn't play the mission the turn you completed, get that shit back to hand, fuck your win condition. And yeah, against other decks, of course, it's somewhat useless. But as mentioned, it's kind of like a Joker card. Just when you completed the mission and when you have Black Shields in your hand, make sure to use Black Shields before you use that, so that you get the Astartes and get the Black Shields in your hand at the end of the turn. Otherwise, yeah, you cuck yourself. You obviously have to use it smartly, but you'll get the hang of it. No need to run it. It's just a personal note of me, so to say. Marauder Squad. I don't know, all these Orphans troops I mentioned here, like, why not run it? Yeah, this is, again, one of those cards, why not run it? 6 energy, 6/5, decent stats, stealth, awesome. And after attacking, you get a card from your opponent's deck, so a Jubek effect. They replace themselves, awesome value. I don't know if this is a common, very nice troop. Then on to Sparge, so this gets buffed every expansion, that's why it's in this deck. It obviously helps with the mission, and if you hire all that, it can bring you on the spot, so I don't know why not include it right now currently in troop decks. Really nice, also some synergy with Branthan, because you can buff adjacent weenies nicely, or not weenies when it spawns some shit like Ogrins or the Felician 5th or whatever it's called. So really nice card. Bit of a high roll one, but when it tyrolls, it's really nice. Cadmus Tyro, that's one of those busted offensive 4 legendaries. If this guy is played on curve and your opponent can deal with him, this is usually devastating. He keeps getting bigger and bigger above other stuff on your board. So yeah, also he basically has 7-11 for 7, which keeps getting bigger. So yeah, you see the point. This is the big guy which needs to be dealt with on the spot. Otherwise, he will have the upper hand in no time. And we got another 7 drop from this expansion. Like, honestly, Offensive 4 kind of won this expansion, in my opinion. Ignatius Newman. Yeah, another good 7 drop here. 7-7 for 7. Decent. And it has an immediate effect. This is also what I really like about this. This is like Tarek Squad's bigger brother. It deals only 1 more damage than Tarek Squad, but still is fair. Keeps producing value if it sticks, and this is what we want. And again, immediate effect. This is what I like. It's random, but it's not always that important, but it lands. It's just a good buddy with a decent effect. Then Coriel Zeth, this is just something I wanted to have in the 8 energy spot because I felt like it will kind of look empty. Like, it's not that important for the curve, again, it's my OCD. And I think this is honestly the best 8 drop we have access to. And we also have this Odic Moore and the retarded brother of this one as an option. Like Rather Phlegmatica only does damage on Relentless, I don't like him too much. And Odic Moore, yeah, he's not bad either, but he will generate trash in 9, so I don't like that too much. Coriel Zeth is the option. I also don't run Hull Removal, although Offensive will have it now. So this can be a major annoyance. Branthan can buffer, that's not that important. It's simply a very good 8 energy troop, so I included her. And we top off with Barabist Antioch, also in almost every Offensive 4 deck. Really annoying 9 drop. Awkward energy cost, but he's a very big guy, and if he isn't dealt with, he can dish out a shit ton of damage. Alright, so that's the deck. As mentioned, this is just my build. I don't think this is the optimal way to play Offensive 4 or the Offensive 4 mission. I think there are a lot of ways to do that, and speaking of that, as usual, I got some alternative cards for you if you don't agree with me on some of my card choices, or if you're missing some of these cards. So first of all, we got Pirate Raid. Sometimes it is good, but it really depends on the meta. Right now, it's deadweight most of the time. It was really good when Centaur was a lot in the meta. Like, games were really grindy, and when it came to like top deck mode, and he had only 10 cards left in his deck, you Pirate Raid the shit out of him, and he's out of options. Or Fulgrim, who kept drawing his whole deck with all the cards he generated. Yeah, then it's cool. Right now, you basically won't have any really grindy games except against Titans, and there it doesn't help that much. So I didn't include it here because, as mentioned, if you have it in starting hand, you're just gonna be there forever and won't do anything. Next up are the Sisyphean Cremates. I just call them Sissy Boys. And it's a very good 2-drop from the new expansion, in my opinion. It says stealth, so yeah, again, it helps with the mission, and we will have to play something turn 1. Next time we can play the mission, activate their ability, and use our abilities, so the one from Branthan, for example, as a potential turn 2 play. But yeah, it's kind of just of an energy dump. This is the best case scenario, but if you're using the ability turn 2, you can like choose Salamanders and then hope for one of their really good for energy drops, like Restan or the Frontline guy or Disciple of Flames. And then if you're having like, I don't know, a relatively full board, you can choose Iron Hands to buff stuff up, or if you're on the offensive, you can choose Raven Guard and hope for a Menace or anything. But I tried these guys out, and most of the time I just got trash in my hand, and as mentioned, it's just an energy dump. It helps with the mission a bit, but they are not as impactful as I'd like them to be. Next up, another card from the expansion. It's, yeah, as you see, Offensive 4 got so many good cards in this expansion. It's Planned Strike. This card seems decent, but it is only really good. I mean, the cost reduction effect is only really good if your hand is full, so like after completing the mission. But when your hand is full, you kind of don't want to draw. You only want to draw when you can't play anything else and then play something. I don't know. You see, the problem here is kind of like a double-edged sword. Obviously really good when you have the mission off. But again, when you have the mission off, you want to play a status and not waste 3 energy on a card draw. It's kind of like a future investment, I guess. I'll be honest, I didn't try this card yet, but on paper it doesn't sound really good. Maybe it's better in Kareen when you don't play the mission, when you just fill your hand with stolen shit, but Kareen is for soy boys, so whatever, you can try it out. Tell me the results in the comments or whatever. Then we got Red Talon Siphon. This is just pretty decent removal and a disruption tool at once, but I wanted as few tactics as possible in here, but if you're feeling cheeky, include it. Then Word by War, this would be my AoE of choice if I would run any AoE, but I don't, because I was running it, but I discovered that if I am at a point where I need this, and I don't have anything on my own board which I nuke. Yeah, this is like the ideal usage for War by War. I most likely lost anyway, so I play this and I can't play anything myself, and then the whole shit starts again for my opponent. So yeah, it's still cool, this card, yeah, because of Ulrach Branthan you can like nuke yourself and then pop the Dreadnought Interment on your own turn. So if you want some AoE, I would probably run this over death sets, of course, because death sets are shit. And the last card for the Orphans, again, an expansion card, it's Desperate Situation. It's the hard removal for the Orphans of War. I was also trying out running it, but most of the time it was dead weight, and if I played it, I still had troops on my board for some reason, yeah, because we're playing a troop deck, yeah. So I almost never got the draw off. I think I actually never got it off. So I never played it from an empty board, or never had the possibility to play it from the empty board, and say it like that. So in the end I scrapped it because it was just deadweight most of the time, but nonetheless, pretty good. It's like a perfection flight basically. So let's continue with some neutral cards. First of all, I got the Trap. Yes, that's a card you don't see that often, or you don't see it at all. But it's a card you can use if you're like on lower elo, I think, where people are not that experienced and don't read cards or don't know what they're doing. So the trick here is the Trap. You play it and then you buff it up with Branthan. Your opponent like covers over it. Okay, it kills itself when you play a troop. Then you play some shit. Then the Trap activates, and then he, like, before the effect resolves, he already drags the other card on the board. And the Trap will be on 1 health because of Branthan. It won't destroy itself, and then it will kill the second troop as well, or deal 6 damage to it. I was running it when I first played Branthan with moderate success, actually. And yeah, I was playing Branthan though since I think 2 years now. Anyway, so you see the meme here. It is kind of a meme. So most opponents will play properly around it or kill that first before they play troops. But nonetheless, this is, if you want to play the Trap, if you ever wanted, like, what the fuck's this card? That card is meant for Branthan or for Etish Taza. Okay, off to the next one. Then we got Belts. It is obviously only pretty good if you play this on curve. And it is not very likely we get this on curve because we start with 1 card. But we get a decent curve here and we can accelerate it with Belts. But I prefer Malkiel here. But if you're, again, feeling cheeky, play Belts. It's a bit risky because it can, again, clog your hand. If you're like in the mid game and you're on 6 energy or something, and playing Belts there is awkward, obviously. But if you're feeling lucky enough, then include it. And if you draw it in curve, as mentioned, it's going to be pretty good. Then Forge Master, it's another 6 drop. I mean, I have 3 7 drops and 2 6 drops. If you want to reverse that, you can basically maybe scrap 1 Ignatius Newman and add a Forge Master, because Forge Master is simply a very good 6 drop. And then we get Urtsi Malevolus. I love this name. And I like to run this guy in decks which don't run hard removal like ours. Sure, we get Desperate Situations as an option. But Urtsi Malevolus, currently, I think it's a good option because there are a lot of Titans, and Titans only play vehicles most of the time. So he is very likely to find value, and Branthan also mitigates his weakness, his low health, with his abilities. So if you want to play Urtsi, which I often do, more often than I like to admit, then this is the deck for you. Then we got Kaiser Lane. He works really well as beating Branthan as a turn 1 play. So you play Kaiser Lane, use your ability, and he's off to 3 health. Obviously helps with the mission, and you can let yourself some cool tactics if you're lucky, but I didn't include him because I have Edict of Sanjur as my backup strat, so there's some counter synergy. Second of all, I'm very unlucky, so most of the time he will die anyway despite of the buff, or I will only get trash tactics. So yeah, I scrapped him in the end because he was just an energy dump. Most of the time we are too busy playing in curve, so Kaiserlight didn't make it, but I know you guys, you're more lucky than me. Just include him if you want. He's a good card in Branthan. Speaking of random tactics, we got Crucial Choice, Nykona, or Big Guys, and the Mission. And if you want something like a nuke as an alternative win-con, then go for Crucial Choice and hope for the best. But honestly, it really got nerfed with this expansion because there are a lot of Titan legendaries, and the Titan legendary tactics are simply useless in Branthan. So yeah, it's also tempo loss, 3 energy. On 3 energy you want to play a 3 drop basically, or use their ability and a 2 drop or something. And yeah, it's a risky card, but again, if you're feeling lucky, feel free to include it. Then we got Goldstone Hunters. I think they work well in Branthan because, well, they can add some extra reach. We don't have that much reach. We have basically almost, well, we have no nukes except Ashen Claw if you count this as a nuke. And yeah, again, these provide some extra reach, and if you like playing them vanilla, so to say, Branthan can buff them up and they will survive a phase bash and stay alive with 1 health, and that's something that's better than not having a board at all. So Goldstone's not too shabby here. And the last card I got on my list is Manifest Destiny. I really like this card in Warlords like Branthan or Vulcan, where your reckoning depends on your opponent popping Survivor. And this makes it really hard for your opponent to kill you without popping your Survivor. So this basically enhances your chances of using that Dreadnought in tournament here. And I was actually running this before this expansion, and it was okay, but sometimes it just doesn't do anything or is a tempo loss. But in some matchups it is really, really annoying. Your opponent had to bash through that Survivor before building a big enough board to kill you, and then you just pop Dreadnought in tournament, you're on 15 health. Usually you're just at best at 10 health. As a Dreadnought here at 15, that's a big difference. And you can destroy an enemy tree by return, so pretty good. But again, risky card, and that's why I didn't include it. This is basically a very straightforward deck. Alright boys, that's it with the deck. I know that only like 1/3 of you watches these, so we're gonna jump into the gameplay. That's what you're here for. I'm currently in 4K. I, as mentioned, don't feel like pushing for top 50. We're kind of close. I mean, I could do it in a sitting, I think. But yeah, it's just super annoying, and I'm waiting for better times. Anyway, enough of the crying. Let's jump into some gameplay. Ahriman, okay. Interesting. Let's keep Grahane. I really like him in this matchup. The precognition is certainly going to be a problem.
We have a mission.
But
knowledge is power.
Megator is nice. Megator is nice. One time when they don't have this turn 1 man, one time. Ash and Claw, very nice. Not that much else to do here than buff up. I'm not gonna temp out the Grahane. Kinda bad that we are not drawing anything, but that's the weakness of this deck. Yeah, sometimes the top decks just don't come. And here's the... Fuck. That's a quick blood. Random, but okay, I'll take it. So let's do this. Maybe he doesn't heal it. Maybe he doesn't heal it. And then we can Grahane Ashen Claw next turn. Let's see. Yeah, that's a Newman. Okay. Is he gonna heal himself? Nah. Maybe he didn't see what I have in my hand. Or maybe he just can't count. We won't find out, boys. So, Grahane. Into this crap. And let's... I don't know, should we face bash? Probably not. I'm gonna play this first to bait out an Ashen Blow and then play Tyro. Holy shit, why are you so aggressive? I don't know. He really likes to face bash, that's certain. Let's just play Newman and see if he can hit the Grahane. No, he hits face. Great. Don't think the placement matters here because he will kill this anyway. With an Ashen Blow. Which one? And he keeps going face of everything with no... Holy shit, what are you doing?
We shall be judged by results, not by intentions.
This guy goes completely ham on me, doesn't use his ability or anything, just full face with Ahriman. Let's see if the Ignatius Newman delivers this time. Well, that's something, I guess, so let's do this. Let's do... I'm gonna go face now, because this just smells fishy. So let's do this. I don't know what he's trying to do, honestly. Like, what burst does he have in hand? He used ore prematurely. Ankto just base. He has a top deck Astral Warfare. 5/5/5. Beautiful. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, boys. That's how we roll. Playing like a complete idiot and high rolling your way to victory. Oh, I want to buff up certainly. So we're gonna play Nap. We're gonna play Chubak. And do this. So, he either kills me this turn, or doesn't. And I kill him. Because I don't think there's a way he can protect himself. Which 5/4, base bash, and second Ankto. That was so stupid, holy shit. But well, Coach McGurke, I would wish you luck, but you have another that, so yeah, to the next one. Okay. That's a pretty bad matchup, but let's see what this guy does. So Carsten won't survive here. I'm gonna mulligan her. I will maybe lean here later.
We have a mission.
So let's just start off with black shields, or let's just start off with Ledric into black shields. Okay. That sucks, but we got an inform network here. I'm not gonna use it yet. It's pretty weak early on. Is it mission, Raven God? Like, if you play that, you certainly want to play mission, but it doesn't. Okay. So I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna play Jubak, counterattack, and buff up. And this way it's gonna be awkward for him to trade here. Unless he has a scimitar jetbike. Oh, that's a pretty good one here. I couldn't play mission yet. Yuri from above. Oh, come on. Oh my god, and this other one will hit here, right? Oh, okay, at least it wasn't completely perfect. So now, please, here, come on, Oros, you can do it. Oh, Oros, you piece of shit. Oh, that's not that great. What the fuck are these cards? Okay. Should he shoot? These guys are trash, honestly. Let's play Marauders into Black Shields. Let's finally pop the mission. So we have a win condition here against this crap. Okay, now I'm certainly gonna informant. I mean, you want to keep this for deliverance, but I don't want this shit around here. And let's play it with Tress. Alrighty. A lot of activated abilities, but he does play missions, so I should be able to outlast him. It would be just kind of annoying when he just gets another one. That's life, I guess. Sure, let's just play Cadmus Tyro. Let's give him some distractions. Usually against Raven God you want to play stealth units in the middle so that guerrilla warfare isn't that effective. But well. It is as it is. He obviously has an answer here. Maybe he doesn't. That's not quite enough. Bro! Come on, bro. Okay, whatever. Let's do this. Oh wait, I have lethal. The fuck? Cadmus Tyro, ladies and gentlemen. Also Shadow and Flame. I will probably make an Nykona guide soon. You might want to check that out. And again, Lucius. And that's a different green guy. Let's keep that because it's reasonable to get mission done against Lucius actually.
We have a mission.
I got some sustain here, and let's see if it works.
I'm your nemesis.
4.5k. Okay. Can't use my ability. So let's just pop the mission. Bruh, that's a card. So let's do this. So it kills itself next turn. And buff up. He just plays this nonsense because it's... I don't even know why. Peak condition! On this? Why on this? I don't understand, but okay. It's probably gonna pay off anyway. Okay, let's play Rant. Avoid engagement hits again. Peak Lucius gameplay, and you're probably gonna face bash with that too. Because why the fuck not, right? And let's try our luck. So let's shoot this. And now this big boy has to hit at least once. Perfect. And let's heal up. With Lucius, you really don't have to decide whether you want to trade or not. You just go for it. You just go full retard. Let's shoot that. And let's keep healing. Let's see if we're tanky enough to survive this shit. But here's of course hold at all costs. Why would you not have it? And that's probably an Ignomen. How did I predict that? How did I predict it? Alrighty. Let's do this. And this. And let's play that, distract him. Buff up. Heal up. He doesn't give a shit. Do I trade? Do I go face? Just do both. Both has an answer again. That's fine though. So, okay. Informant. He's gonna draw 2 cards. Shoot this shit. Hey you. And heal up again. Acrotress doing a lot of work here. Acrotress doing a lot of work here. Yeah, next time we're gonna pop the mission finally. Okay. What? What are you doing? Oh well guys, we finished the mission, but I'll be real, I'm done for today with the recording. Let's just see what we get. I guess I'll pick that. Because this is fucking nonsense.
Salvation in blood.
But here MVP Acrotras, I'll just tell you boys, I couldn't be bothered to record more. I got a bonus tip for you though, and I'll show you in a minute. I fucked up my last recording, so I just have to show you the replay here, honestly. Let's treat this as a little bonus, because this guy is top 50, 4.3k. 4.3k. This is the guy, I guess, like Korean science. I told you, like, before I started this video that I don't like this game right now. I really don't like it. I don't like to play this. I'll be honest right now. I'm just like doing videos, and this is a good time waster when I'm on the shit or something. And let's just check out the game, and I'll tell you why. So pretty good opener for me. I keep the mission because it's doable against Lucius.
Have a mission.
Today, I'm your nemesis.
This motherfucker set up with tactical brilliance into a bike. This dies no matter what. He knows I have counterattack. He just does it anyway. He's down to 2 cards, turn 1. I think like, okay, I need to preserve some health. I can face bash that and keep the counterattack. But we need as much health as possible. I use the counterattack here, right? And we keep this around, so this is basically a distraction kind of effects for him. He has to attack twice into it. Unless he has unrestrained cruelty, which he doesn't apparently. Fine, good, this does damage and saves me some health. Magnetor will be used for the company command if we will play him at some point eventually. And I'll just play in curve to drop the veteran. Again, tactical brilliance. Everything in starting hand, and he plays enhanced warrior instead of ignomin. It's not that hard to build, Lucius. And I think like, fuck, now I have to use my face for this nonsense. Okay, you're still even in health and it becomes a 6-6, so I have to kill it because it's a fucking enhanced warrior. Don't have anything to play, pretty bad hand, so I just pop the mission, nothing else to do, and I have to face bash into this. So far so good, I guess. Avoid engagement. He doesn't draw a troop, doesn't draw a tactic, and still gets to use all his energy despite top decking turn 1 onwards. Into 4 damage to my face. So nothing to do here. I just use my ability. Before my network, great top deck. That's exactly what I need. And use the cacophony command he drew the previous turn. I think, okay. I don't need to Malkator that yet because, well, I don't have anything to attack with. So I play Bran and buff up. Inform a network. I mean, okay, it's fine. Now what he does next, look at this! Unrestrained cruelty without perfection, so it doesn't heal. Into a diversionary tactics, because on me, like on me. I thought first, okay, he's gonna do this because he wants to save 4 health. It's stupid because it doesn't matter. But he uses 2 cards, and he uses to stun this instead of just doing this. Why stun me? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You see, it still took 4 damage, and used 2 cards. I don't get it. This is beyond stupid. I top like something to play, great, I play Newman. This guy is still ahead, he's still winnable, like he doesn't know I have Malkator, I have no means to attack him, he just hides behind the fucking cacophony. He stuns this, that's reasonable, that's at least a good play. But he face bashes into it! Why on earth would you do this? Why this attack? Why? This is the dumbest shit I have seen in my lifetime, honestly. So, I play the Black Shield Outriders, just get rid of that crap and buff up to get out of range of whatever, I guess. And he plays Andronius! He main decks this shit, this wasn't generated. This dude plays Andronius. And then, look. Okay, that's a good card for him, right? He for some reason uses it, draws last, and then look, he attacks with that. Okay, perfectly reasonable. But I have a lot of health. He face bashes into me, like Ashen Claw. You know, Orphans 4 always run Ashen Claw. I have a full hand, and he's like, yeah, that's a great idea to do that. I mean, he probably has Pride of the Emperor. Just wait until next turn. Just wait until next turn, face bash into me, attack with that, or I attack into that, and then play Pride of the Emperor or whatever, because you have it anyways. Of course, although you're top taking System 1. And, okay. I got these guys. I didn't have Ashen Claw, but I have Lethal anyway with these guys from Bran and Format Network. But holy fuck! And this guy, this fucking room temperature IQ person, is somewhere in top 50. Like, how am I supposed to take this game seriously or ranking seriously at this point, right? Yeah, like, this is gonna be a little bonus clip here just to show you what I meant with my rant in the beginning. Like, now you see it, because this is peak retardation, which is also rewarded. Because Lucius is so forgiving, holy fuck. He doesn't know how to build a deck, he doesn't know how to play, and it's still that high ranked. Says a lot about society. Okay, ran over, and yeah. So that was it for today's video, boys. We did get the mission off once, and it didn't matter. But I'll be real, it's now 4:30 AM, and I can't. I simply can't record more right now. I can't. It's too much. You heard my rant, and like, trust my word that you can get the mission off and have fun with it. Just not today. Today is not the time. It's just my luck again when I'm recording that I'm facing bullshit over bullshit again and again. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope my negativity towards the game doesn't affect you too much. It's still a good game. The devs just really don't want us to have fun for some reason. And anyway, if you want to see more deck guides, and if you have a deck request yourself, let me know in the comments. If I like it, I might make a video on that as well. And also, I made it in the German World Cup team. Oh yeah, I totally wiped the losers bracket of the qualifier. So we're gonna see some World Cup videos soon, hopefully too. So if you're interested in some competitive play, stay tuned. And I hope to see you soon. And until then, midnight out.